In the dusty, sun-baked expanse of a small town in Kenya, where the red earth meets a sky that never seems to cry, lived a boy named Baraka. In Swahili, his name means blessing, but for the first 12 years of his life, Baraka felt like anything but. His home was not a place of comfort. It was a single room with iron sheets that roared with anger when it rained and sizzled with fury when the sun was high. Inside that room, the storms were always worse.
There's no money.
And you think I can feed a child with air? Odiambo, look at him, he is shrinking.
In the corner, small Baraka would press his hands against his ears. He tried to make himself small enough to disappear into the cracks of the mud-smeared floor. He learned to read the room not by the words, but by the silences. The heavy, dangerous silence before the storm. School was a different kind of battlefield. His uniform was always a size too big, washed by his own small hands at the river, never quite clean. The other children laughed. They called him the dust boy.
Hey, Baraka, did you sleep in the chicken coop again? You smell of smoke and old flatbread.
Baraka never answered. He just walked. He had learned that words were weapons he could not afford to own. But he had a secret that lived in the margins of his school books.
Baraka, wait a moment.
Teacher Jane had eyes that missed nothing. She saw the bruises on his arm that looked like fingerprints. She saw the way he flinched when someone raised their hand to erase the chalkboard.
These drawings in your exercise book.
No one, teacher, the sun. The sun doesn't shout. I wanted to keep it.
Teacher Jane felt her heart crack. She saw a universe of pain in those young eyes.
Talent is a gift from God, Baraka.
After school, there were no toes, no games. There was the river. He would kneel on the flat washing stone, rubbing his mother's clothes and his own against the rough surface, the blue soap stinging the small cuts on his fingers.
Oh.
It's okay, Mama Kamani. It has to be done.
Come here. I made too much for dinner tonight. Your mother won't mind if you eat with an old woman.
Mama Kimani's small kitchen was Baraka's first gallery. The smell of smoke and cooked onions was the smell of safety. It was there, by the light of a kerosene tin lamp, that he showed her his drawings on scraps of cardboard.
This is my chicken.
But the storm at home was growing.
What is this? You are wasting electricity on drawing, while your mother is crying for flour. You are useless.
Baraka watched his father tear his drawings. Each rip was a sound in his own chest, but he did not cry, not in front of him. He had learned to save his tears for the night, burying his face in the thin pillow that smelled of paraffin.
Why am I here?
One night, the fighting was worse than ever. The police came, neighbors gathered, and Baraka sat on the veranda, holding a piece of charcoal, and drew the scene on the concrete floor. He drew the flashing lights, the angry faces, and a small figure sitting alone, looking at the stars, a star that looked just like a sun. The next day, Teacher Jane came to the compound. She spoke to Mama Kimani, and then she knelt before Baraka.
Baraka, I spoke to the children's office, and I spoke to a man I know. A man who runs a special school.
Artists? What is an artist, teacher?
It is someone who paints the sky for people who have forgotten how beautiful it is.
His mother, Nyokabi, watched from the doorway of their room. Her eyes were red. For the first time, she looked at her son not as a burden, but as a person leaving.
Baraka.
Baraka looked at his mother. He saw a young woman, aged by life, trapped in her own storm. He didn't know if he could forgive her yet, but he knew he had to forgive himself for the shame he felt. Years passed. Baraka went to that special school. He worked harder than anyone. He turned his pain into portraits, his loneliness into landscapes.
Teacher Jane, do you think I could ever go to the university, the big one in Nairobi?
I don't think, Baraka. You won. Full scholarship to the Creative Arts Department.
Baraka didn't scream. He didn't jump. He just looked at the letter, and for the first time since he was a child, he let a tear fall. 5 years later, Baraka stood on a stage at the University of Nairobi. He was wearing a graduation gown. His cap sat proudly on his head. In the crowd, searching for him, were two faces, Teacher Jane, crying happy tears, and Mama Kimani, waving a white handkerchief furiously. And in the very back row, sitting apart from everyone else, was a man and a woman. Older now, weathered, the man, Odiambo, looked down at his rough hands. The woman, Niokabi clutched a small, framed drawing in her hands. It was a drawing of a yellow sun over a simple house. The drawing Baraka had made when he was 9, which she had secretly saved from the trash.
Today I stand here because of 2 women who saw a sun in me when my world was full of night. Teacher Jane and Mama Kimani, and I stand here despite the storm. To my mother and father, I am not angry anymore. I am just grateful. Because their storm taught me how to build my own shelter and how to paint my own sky.
Baraka went back to that dusty town. He didn't go back to stay. He went back to build. He built Mama Kimani a proper house with a real kitchen. He built a small library for the children, with an art room. And he bought his mother and father a small plot of land, away from the iron sheets, where they could grow vegetables in peace.
You see, Baraka? I told you. You were always a blessing.
The fire doesn't define us, Mama Kimani.
The Bible says in Isaiah 43:2, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, it will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned." Baraka walked through the fire. He didn't come out unscarred, he came out shining. He proved that your beginning does not have to be your end. That the child raised in the nose can create the most beautiful silence. If Baraka's story touched your heart, if it reminded you that hope lives in the darkest places, then hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to see the sun today. And don't forget to subscribe and join this family of storytellers. Because every story matters, and yours is just beginning.